guess at this point we might as well, you know, think that it's over with, because that's what it was like. I had never seen that much force, over 300 officers out for one person or for a couple of people. Body bags, you know, big trucks to put the body bags in. I'm like, well, it wasn't necessary. So what were your intentions? If anyone was to just say, no, we're not doing this or whatever, or didn't comply, it would have been a bloodbath. You know, children and women, because there wasn't that many men on the property at that time. Everybody was out to work, even though they may make you think that people didn't work. People worked, you know, and women and children would have been dead unnecessarily. You know, when I think about it, it's sad, because you wouldn't think something like that would happen here. But when you think about Waco, and you think about, I guess, some of the other people who just want to do for themselves the things that they may go through, then you wonder why. You know, May 8th, it hurts to even think about it. It hurts to talk about it. It hurts to remember, because Tamaray was a place for everybody. It wasn't a place just for us. And if anybody would go, if you would come to visit, the warmth that you would feel. I mean, we had thousands of people come there every year, all throughout the year. We had, we built the pyramids. The brothers did, kids did. They painted, I mean, it was beautiful. You have to see it. The city, the Golden City, when I think about it, it's not there now. You know, because they took that too. That's something that they wanted. No black man was supposed to own 470 some odd acres in Edenton. No, not a black man. That's one of the first things that they said when we got there. We couldn't be there long enough before the news reporters came out. Who is this man that's buying this property? Not necessarily a man, but it was people. We all loved each other. We all cared for each other. And what we were trying to do was basically provide homes for everybody that lived there. But that was stopped. Once they realized what was being built and how beautiful it could be, and they tried everything in their power to stop it with little remarks, racist remarks, and that's when you realize what you were dealing with. We built pyramids here in Georgia. Okay? We're building a heritage for our people to basically go back and view their ancestry, to know where they came from. There wasn't nothing negative behind it. It was, everything was positive, but it wasn't allowed for us to have it. Like I said, it started out with zoning issues. They give you a hard time when you're just trying to build. And from there alone, they kept to bring it down, to stop it. And once you hear the remarks that's made behind the scenes, then you realize what you're really dealing with. And so you come out to try to fight for what you have. Everybody gave what they have so that we can... It wasn't a one-man thing. It was everybody. And they tried to make it appear as if, oh, Mr. York, he was this one person that told everybody what to do, and he had this strong hold. It wasn't like that. People were there for their own accord. There was no locks on the doors. We didn't have to lock our doors at night. Most people have to lock their doors. Most people have to put gates on their windows. We didn't have to lock our doors. And the men that stood guard outside, it wasn't something that they had to do. It was something, we were not protecting ourselves from ourselves. We were protecting ourselves from ignorant people who have small minds, who may function out of fear instead of trying to find out what's going on. Who are these people? And get to know you before they make their own judgments. And that's what May 8th was. It was a result of someone's personal judgments. Someone who had the authority and the power to make it bigger than what it was for their personal gain. One of the things I've watched is when he marched down to the main house, which he thought or assumed was Mr. York's. Mr. York had moved out years before. It wasn't his house. We lived there. I lived there. And he felt he lived like a king. He lived like a king. It shows the mentality of how certain people feel that somebody is supposed to live. They talked about us, the people there. They're this, they're that. And it's all basically personal feelings. When you're in a town like that, a lot of times people want to have control over everyone and everything. And if they can't control you, then they start to tear you down little by little when you're trying to grow or you're trying to do things just to help yourself. And that's basically what it's all about. We can't allow them to grow. We can't allow them to be who they are. We can't allow them to cherish their heritage as Egyptians. We can't allow that to happen. So let's tear it down. This is not Africa. These are the comments that you would hear from behind the scenes. This is not Africa. This is Edenton. This is my town. This is not theirs. And it was not like we were trying to take over the town. We were just trying to build for ourselves. And then open the doors for people to come. People came from all over the world. People came from Japan. People from Tibet came to walk the labyrinth. Do you understand? And when we realize how far and wide that people were coming from every year, then let's build something so that they can see something new every year. Let's build Edfu, a museum that had Egyptian artifacts. You know, that was built by the hands of the kids. Not only that, but the adults that were there who saw a dream also. Let's build a golden city, okay, where anybody from any religion could come and praise whoever it is that they feel is God to them or their most supreme being to them. Let them walk the labyrinth in praise of their deity. It didn't matter who you were or where you came from. Our doors were open. And the only thing they were trying to do was stop progressiveness. And then they made, oh, it's a black thing. No, it's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's a right thing. That's what it was. We were doing something right for people. Everybody came from all walks of life, all nationalities, and it didn't matter. Our doors were open. You could come. And they destroyed that for one person's greed or one person's satisfaction. Because I could not get control of this individual who they thought had all the power. I cannot get him in my hand that I could say, you do this and you can't do this or whatever the case may be. But that's not what we were about. We were about spreading love. And we're definitely not about hurting our children. Okay, so I can't see what they're trying to say as far as Mr. York. Mr. York would not hurt a child. Okay? He would not hurt a child. So when I sit here and I talk about May 8th, it's sad. Because that was everything to us. People had given up a lot so that they can be a part of it. And we took pride in what we were doing because it was something positive. That was just one aspect. We had 470 some odd acres, and only 19 acres was built with that little utopia.